Hi everyone, welcome back to the Florida Fishing Academy's virtual classroom. Today we are going to be focusing on the parts of a fish. In science, we refer to this as the anatomy. Anatomy is the study of the structure or internal workings of something. For example, this might include our external or outside anatomy, being our ears, our skin, our eyes, or it could be our internal anatomy, being our brain, our heart, or our lungs. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be exploring the anatomy of a fish. First, I'd like you to all close your eyes. Think of your favorite animal. You might think of different parts of your animal. For example, if your favorite animal is an elephant, you might think of their big floppy ears. If your favorite animal is a sea turtle, you might think of their shell or their carapace. Take a second and think about those different characteristics, or what we might call features, or different parts of your favorite animal. We are going to be exploring those features and characteristics of a fish. Let's dive in. Now we are going to look at the different external or outside anatomy or parts of a fish. Here we have a blank worksheet. This worksheet is available on our website under our Virtual Classrooms tab if you'd like to print it out and follow along. On this worksheet here, we're going to identify the different parts of a fish. Some of these things you may be familiar with, but other things might be new. First thing we're going to look at is this first feature that we're pointing to here. This feature is one that you are probably familiar with. We are going to call this the mouth of the fish. The next feature that we're going to look at is this next box here. This is pointing to the eye of a fish. The next feature we're going to look at is this top part here. Now you may know this as a fin, but you may not know that fish have specific types of fins. This top fin here is called the dorsal fin. The next item you're going to see on your fish is this little line that follows along the side of the fish. We call this the lateral line. The lateral line is a very interesting part of a fish. Unlike humans that only have 5 senses, being smelling, touching, seeing, tasting, and hearing, fish have extra senses. This sense here is their lateral line. The lateral line picks up vibrations in water, which can allow them to detect their surroundings a little bit better and help them better survive. The next part we're going to look at is their back fin, sometimes referred to as their tail. The tail we're going to call the caudal fin. The next item we're going to look at is called the anal fin. This is their back side fin. The next fin we're going to look at is their front fin. This is on their chest, and just like humans, we call our chest our pecs or our pectorals. And so we are going to call this the pectoral fin. The next fin we're going to look at is called the pelvic fin. And lastly, we are going to look at the gills. The gills are a special feature that fish have that allow them to breathe while in water. When we breathe, our lungs fill with air. Fish do not have lungs, which makes them unique. Try and fill out this sheet and see if you can identify the different parts of a fish. I've labeled this diagram here for you. You can see that I noted a few things, that the pelvic, anal, and dorsal fin help the fish balance, and stopping and steering is controlled by the pectoral fin, while movement is done by the caudal fin. Try and do it yourself. We'd love to see what you come up with.